A lot of you, and I mean a lot of you, are buying houses in France which need some level of work or extension doing to them. This can go from a full-blown renovation just to slight modernisation. In fact, there's even some of you out there who are actually doing self-build new houses as well. And when you do have a project like that, there is a good chance that you personally will be doing some of the work on that property. If that is the case for you, you need to be careful in the case of an eventual resale of your property. If you don't plan ahead, it can work out quite expensive. French law says that any craftsman is liable for his work, and that for a period of 10 years following the date of completion of the said job. And they are obliged to take out a special insurance for this, what we call the guarantee décennale. The guarantee décennale covers what the French class as category 1 and 2 works. That is to say, roof works, carpentry works, masonry works, as well as plumbing and electrical installations. When you get a quote done by a French registered workman, you should always ask for a copy, if you don't provide it, of the guarantee décennale, which is up to date. If they can't provide you with a copy of this,
I don't know what you are talking about.
In that case, don't go with them, because there's a good chance they are actually working illegally.
Don't touch it.
If you sell your property within 10 years of any major work, the notary will request copies of the actual invoice from the workman, as well as a copy of his actual 10-year guarantee or guarantee décennale. This is to show that all is above board, and if necessary, they can actually pass the guarantee on to the new purchasers.
That was close.
Well, that's all well and good, but what's that got to do with you, who actually renovated your property yourself and did all the work yourself because you didn't need workmen?
I don't know.
Well, this is where it gets complicated. Under French law,
Can I help you, officer?
if you are renovating or self-building a house yourself and undertake category 1 or category 2 works, as in the list of jobs I mentioned earlier, then as far as the French are concerned, then you are liable for those jobs in the same way as if you were a registered craftsman.
It was an accident. I'm not liable.
The thing is, in the eyes of the French insurance brokers, you are not a registered craftsman, so they can't give you a decennial insurance.
No, I can't do that.
So now you're in a catch-22 situation when it comes to selling your property. But stay with me and I'll explain how to get out of this.
There is someone who I think can help us.
If you sell your house without a decennial insurance, the risk is if something goes wrong, if a wall falls down or something blows up or whatever, you are liable for that work in a 10-year period following the date the job was done. The new owners can hold you responsible and take you to court and sue for damages.
Objection, Your Honor! Order!
And imagine if someone was actually harmed in the actual accident, then it can get very expensive. Admittedly, as always in French law, there is what we call the jurisprudence, which is the open interpretation of the law by the judges in different court cases. This is then comes back and see how it works out in real life as such. And what often happens in these cases here is the damages as such are assessed on the cost of the job. Obviously, the smaller the job, the lesser the damages need to be paid. Unless obviously, as I mentioned, if someone's harmed. For example, if you rebuilt a whole big wall, that'd be a big job, and that fell down, then you have the damages appropriately. So, how can you get around it? Well, the easiest way, if not the quickest, is to actually wait 10 years after you've done any major jobs on your house before even putting it on the market. That way, there's no actual guarantee anymore, and you can sell it. But what happens if you need to sell it quick, or quicker than 10 years anyhow? The best option is to take out what we call is an insurance dommage ouvrage, which is fairly similar to the actual guarantee décennale, but you need to do it at the time you are doing the work on the house. You will need to shop around a bit because the actual cost of the insurance dommage ouvrage is calculated on the actual estimated cost of the works. Then that's multiplied between anything between 1 to 12%, depending on the insurance broker, to shop around. But also, a little word of warning, Don't undercut the estimates to get a cheaper insurance, because the experts will know later on if something does happen, and then that will probably nullify the contract to start with.
It was shameful, but that was not me.
And another word of warning, if you don't have décennal insurance or the dommage ouvrage, and your notary says that he'll put in a clause saying you're not liable for the work which was done in the previous 10 years,
But I believe you will find I'm not liable for such claims.
then unfortunately that is not right. I've seen it done a few times. The thing is that the sales agreement comes under what the French call private law, and the décennal insurance comes under what we call public law. So two different spheres of law, let's say.
Not liable, Your Honor.
And so although you think you're covered by this clause saying you're not liable, well, in fact you are.
They think I'm guilty.
So to summarise, if you're actually buying a house and needs some major work which you intend to do yourselves, and even if you're not planning to short-term resale, it's probably well worth considering, because 10 years is a long time, is to actually take out a dommage ouvrage insurance with a French insurance broker, or simply wait 10 years until you can sell it. So there you have it, a warning to all you DIYers out there with French properties: make sure you're covered. And always, if you like these videos, don't forget to click the like, subscribe and bell buttons, and I'll be back soon. And in the meantime, I'm sure you'd all love to actually save a bit on the actual transfer of funds when we're buying all those building materials. Check out this video here about foreign exchange and how you can earn money on there.